The strange crash hit was a quiet night in the forest near a lonely human outpost. Alex, a mechanic living alone far from the busy cities, sat near his small fire. The stars above him shone bright, and the forest was silent except for the wind. In the trees, suddenly, a bright light shot across the sky. It moved fast and low, leaving a burning trail. Then there was a loud crash, and the ground shook beneath Alex's feet. Birds flew out of the trees. Frightened by the noise, Alex stood up quickly, his heart beating fast. He grabbed his flashlight and ran toward the place where the light had fallen. The forest was dark, but he could see smoke rising in the distance. He moved carefully, pushing branches aside. Soon he reached a clearing where trees were broken and the ground was torn apart. In the middle of the crash site was something strange. It was not a normal spaceship, but a small silver pod. Its surface was cracked and glowing faintly. Sparks jumped from the broken panels and soft blue light shone from inside. Alex stepped closer, curious and careful. He heard a soft, sound-a-weak cry, almost like a child's. His breath caught as he saw movement inside the pod. A figure was lying there, small and thin. It was not human, but something beautiful and alien. She looked like a young girl, but her skin was smooth and pale, glowing softly under the moonlight. Her hair was silver, falling over her face, and her clothes were torn. Strange symbols covered her skin. Glowing faintly, her eyes opened. Slowly, large and shining with a soft light. For a moment, she looked directly at Alex, her gaze full of pain and fear. She tried to move, but winced, clearly injured. Alex felt a deep sympathy for her, even though she was alien. She looked lost and helpless. He knelt beside her and reached out his hand. Her skin felt warm but smooth like glass where he touched her arm. The symbols on her skin glowed brighter for a second before fading again. She shivered but did not pull away. Alex knew he could not leave her here. It was dangerous, and he could already hear distant sounds. Maybe someone else had seen the crash without thinking. He gently lifted her from the broken pod. She was light, almost weightless, and she rested her head on his shoulder. Her breathing was shallow, and her arms hung limp as he carried her. He felt something strange, a warmth passing between them. It was as if her body responded to his touch. Glowing faintly wherever his hands supported her, Alex moved quickly but carefully through the trees. He knew a hidden path that led back to his underground shelter. All the while, he kept glancing at the girl in his arms. Her eyes were closed now, but her face looked peaceful. Even in her injured state, there was something pure and gentle about her. Alex wondered who she was and why she had fallen from the sky. The forest behind him was quiet again, but he did not feel safe. He felt that others might come looking for her soon. When he reached the entrance to his shelter, he stopped to catch his breath. The door was hidden under thick bushes and a metal hatch. With one hand, he pressed the hidden button, and the hatch slid open silently. He stepped inside, carrying the alien girl carefully down the narrow stairs. His shelter was simpler, small space with basic furniture, a bed, and some old equipment, but it was safe and hidden from the world above. Alex laid the girl gently on the bed. She stirred slightly but did not wake. He looked at her wounds, cuts, and bruises on her arms and legs. Some of them glowed softly, as if her body was trying to heal itself but failing. Alex fetched a clean cloth and a bowl of warm water. He sat beside her and began cleaning her wounds gently. As he worked, he noticed that wherever he touched, the glow on her skin became brighter and her breathing steadier. It was as if his touch was helping her heal. This thought gave him hope, but also filled him with questions. Who was she? Why did her body react this way to him? He watched her face as he cleaned her wounds. Her expression relaxed, and she seemed to sleep peacefully now. Outside, the night grew darker, and the stars watched silently from above. Alex knew this was only the beginning. Somehow, Their lives had connected on this strange night. He felt a deep sense of responsibility for her now. He promised himself he would protect her, no matter what happened next. The hidden shelter inside the underground shelter. The air was cool and quiet. Alex moved slowly around the small space, making sure the alien girl was as comfortable as possible. She lay on the old bed, wrapped gently in a soft blanket. Her silver hair spread across the pillow. The faint glow on her skin had grown dim again. Alex sat nearby, watching her closely, wondering what kind of being she really was. He felt a strange connection, a bond he could not explain. He did not even know her name. Yet he could not bear the thought of leaving her alone as the night passed. He tried to clean her strange wounds again. Every time his fingers touched her skin, the symbols on her arms and face shimmered and pulsed. He was sure now that his touch was helping her heal. It felt almost magical, as if some invisible energy passed between them. Suddenly, she stirred, her glowing eyes fluttering open for a brief moment. Her gaze met his, full of confusion and fear, but also trust. She tried to speak, but no words came. Just a soft whisper that Alex could not understand, but that brief moment was enough. He could see that she needed him. She was not just injured, but lost, far from her world, and maybe the only one of her kind here. Alex sat back, thinking deeply. His shelter was well hidden, but it was not perfect. Outside, the forest seemed calm, but deep down, Alex felt uneasy. He had seen the flash in the sky, the crash, and he knew others could have seen it too. If anyone came looking, they would find the crash site empty. Would they search the forest next? Would they come knocking on his door? The thought made him anxious. He checked his old communication monitor. An old device he used to listen for patrol signals. Static filled the screen at first. Then faint voices came through. ... Object downed. Search teams deployed. Unknown entity. Alex's heart pounded. They were already searching the area. He knew he did not have much time before soldiers or patrols came closer. He had to act fast. He walked back to the girl, kneeling beside her. Her breathing was slow but steady. He whispered softly, "Don't worry. You're safe here. I'll protect you," even though he did not know if she understood. Something in her face softened. A tear ran down her cheek, glowing faintly in the dim light. Alex gently wiped it away, feeling the warmth of her skin under his fingers. Again, the symbols on her skin flickered for a second, as if reacting to his promise. Suddenly, the monitor beeped loudly. Alex rushed back to it and listened carefully. A new message played. ... Heat signature detected. Possible survivor. Southwest sector. His shelter was in the southwest sector. They were coming this way. Panic rose inside him, but he forced himself to stay calm. He had hidden from patrols before, but this time was different. This time, he was hiding a mysterious alien girl, whose presence could change everything. Alex quickly checked his supplies. Food, water, medical kits, all were in place, but they might not be enough if a full search began. Then he remembered an old hidden passage that led deeper underground. It had been sealed for years, but maybe he could reopen it. If he had to hide her quickly, that passage would be their best chance. He moved back to her side and whispered, "We might need to move soon." Her eyes opened slowly again, and this time, she lifted a weak hand toward him. Her fingers brushed his arm gently, and at that touch, the symbols on her skin glowed bright again. She was stronger now, thanks to his care. Alex felt a strange energy inside himself too, as if her healing was passing to him in return. For a moment, the world seemed quiet and peaceful despite the danger outside, but it would not last. He knew time was running out. Outside, the forest still looked calm, but search drones and soldiers were closing in. Alex made a decision. He would protect this alien girl at any cost. Whatever she was, whoever she was, her fate was now tied to his. and as her glowing eyes met his once more, he felt that maybe his life was about to change forever. Her silent recovery, the hours passed slowly inside Alex's hidden shelter. Outside, the world searched for the fallen star, but inside, a quiet healing was taking place. The alien girl rested on the simple bed, her silver hair glowing softly in the dim light. Her skin shimmered faintly, and every now and then, the strange symbols on her arms pulsed gently. Alex sat nearby, watching over her. Unsure what to do next, he felt trapped between curiosity and worry. But one thing was clear: she was getting better, and somehow it was because of him. Each time he gently cleaned her wounds, her skin seemed to respond. Where his fingers touched her, the glow returned brighter, and her breathing became easier. It was as if her body was drawing strength from his presence. She never spoke, never made a sound, but her large shining eyes followed his every movement in those silent glances. Alex could feel something deep, a connection that words could not explain. Even though they were from different worlds, she seemed to trust him completely. That trust made Alex more determined to protect her. He carefully checked the entrance hatch again and adjusted the camouflage around it. He listened closely to his old communication monitor. The voices outside were getting louder now. Search teams were nearby, combing the woods, scanning for signs. He knew they would eventually come close. But for now, he still had time. He returned to her side. Her eyes met his again, soft and shining for the first time. She lifted her hand slowly and touched his cheek. Her fingers were warm and smooth. And at her touch, Alex felt a wave of strange warmth inside him. It was more than physical. It felt as if she was sharing her feelings with him without words. A silent thank you, maybe, or a plea to stay close. He gently held her hand. Feeling how small and delicate it was, he realized how fragile she seemed, but also how strong her spirit must be to survive the crash. As he held her hand, the symbols on her arm glowed brighter, then slowly faded again. Alex could feel her strength returning. Little by little, he brought her some water. Holding it carefully to her lips, she sipped slowly, her glowing eyes never leaving his face. Every movement between them felt quiet, but powerful, as if an unspoken language had formed. Suddenly, the shelter lights flickered briefly. Alex froze, his heart racing. Was someone outside? He moved to the monitor again and heard faint static, followed by a voice, ... thermal scan. Possible heat signature. His blood ran cold. They were closing in, but he glanced back at the girl and saw her watching him. Her eyes were calm, almost as if she understood everything. And then something strange happened. The symbols on her arms and face began to glow in a slow, steady rhythm. The glow spread through her whole body until her skin shone with soft blue light. The temperature in the room felt warmer, but peaceful. Alex watched in awe as her bruises and cuts slowly healed right before his eyes. Her skin mended itself, her breathing deepened, and color returned to her pale face. She was healing faster now, and she was doing it silently, without machines or medicines. But still, she did not speak. Her silent recovery amazed Alex. It was as if she was using her own inner strength, maybe his kindness, to repair herself. Yet he knew they were not safe. No matter how fast she healed, danger was moving closer outside. But at that moment, the fear in his chest lessened just a bit. He realized that they were not entirely helpless. This alien girl had a power he did not understand. But that power, combined with their strange bond, might help them both survive. As she rested, Alex prepared quietly for whatever came next. He packed a small bag with food and water. He kept listening to the monitor, his ears sharp for every sound. But in his heart, something was changing too. This was no longer just about hiding her. Somehow, they were connected now. His touch had helped her heal. but her presence was healing something inside him, to a loneliness he had carried for years. The bond between them was growing stronger, even though she remained silent. He looked at her peaceful face and whispered softly, "You're safe. I promise." The alien girl opened her eyes again, and for the first time, a small, faint smile appeared on her lips. That smile gave Alex hope, but he knew this peace would not last for long. The real test was still to come. Memories unlocked the shelter. Felt quiet but heavy. Alex sat on a wooden stool beside the alien girl, watching her as she slept. Her soft glow kept the darkness at bay, casting pale blue light across the walls. Even now, her skin reacted faintly when he touched her arm or face. But something was changing. He could feel it. The bond between them had grown deeper, almost like an invisible thread connecting their minds. Suddenly, the girl's eyes opened wide, shining brighter than before. Before Alex could speak, she slowly reached out and touched his forehead with her fingers. The moment her skin met his, Alex felt a rush of warmth spread through his head. And then, images began to flood his mind. He froze, unable to move. As the pictures came faster and clearer, he saw stars, vast and endless. A beautiful alien city filled with silver towers and glowing bridges. And then he saw her, standing proudly in a strange royal hall. Her clothes were fine and shining, a crown on her head. She was a princess, a leader of her people, but the scenes quickly turned dark. A betrayal. A trap set by those who wanted power. Her ship shot down as she tried to escape, falling across the stars and crashing on Earth. Pain and loneliness followed as she lay broken in the forest until Alex found her. Alex gasped as the vision ended. His heart raced and his hands trembled. He looked at her, realizing who she truly was, not just an alien, but royalty, an important figure in her world. Hunted by enemies even now. She was never meant to come here. But now, because of him, she was safe. At least for a little while. The girl's glowing eyes watched him carefully. Even though she could not speak, she seemed to be asking, "Do you understand now?" Alex nodded slowly, whispering, "You're a princess." At that, the girl gently took his hand and pressed it to her chest. Her skin glowed warmer, and Alex could feel her heartbeat, strong and steady. It was as if she was telling him she trusted him completely now. Outside, the forest was no longer silent. Alex could hear the low hum of drones sweeping the area. Footsteps in the distance, crackling radios, searching voices. The patrols were close to close. Alex knew they had no more time. The secret he now carried made everything even more dangerous. If they caught her, she would not just be a strange alien. They would know she was special. And they would never let her go. Alex quickly moved around the shelter. Packing supplies, he checked a small hidden tunnel he had dug years ago, narrow escape path that led deeper underground and out beyond the forest's edge. It would be tight and dark, but it was their only chance. The alien girl, though weak, seemed to understand. She sat up slowly, holding onto his arm for balance. Her wounds had healed almost completely now. Her strength was returning faster than Alex could believe. As they prepared to leave, Alex felt something else a change inside himself. The vision she had shared stayed with him. He could still feel the emotions she had felt: fear, sadness, betrayal, but also hope. Somehow, their minds were connected now. It was no longer just about protecting her body. It was about protecting her heart and her story. She had lost everything, and yet, she was still here, still trusting him. Alex promised himself he would not let that trust be broken. The lights in the shelter flickered again. A voice crackled faintly on the old monitor. ... Prepare for entry. Heat signature confirmed. Alex's heart pounded. They had found the shelter. It was time to go. He knelt beside her and whispered, "We have to leave." Now, the girl touched his face once more. Her glow brightened as if giving him strength. Alex felt calm for a brief moment. Then he led her to the tunnel entrance, pulling the heavy cover aside. The tunnel was dark and narrow, but safe. The girl gave him a final look. Her eyes shining with both fear and courage. Alex smiled back. Together, they disappeared into the shadows, just as soldiers reached the hatch above. Their journey was far from over, but Alex knew now this was not just a rescue. This was the beginning of something much bigger. The chase begins. The tunnel was dark and narrow. Alex moved carefully, holding a small lantern that cast weak yellow light. Behind him, the alien girl followed closely, her glowing skin softly lighting the path. The walls of the tunnel were damp and cold, but Alex felt a strange warmth beside her. Even in this darkness, her presence gave him comfort. They crawled forward for what felt like hours. Above them, faint sounds echoed, heavy boots, searching voices, the hum of drones. Alex knew the soldiers were inside his shelter now. They would search every corner. Sooner or later, they would find the tunnel entrance. Alex needed to get her far away before that happened. At last, they reached a rusty hatch. Alex pushed it open carefully, letting cool night air rush in. They climbed out into a part of the forest that was far from the crash site. The trees were thick, and the ground was soft with fallen leaves. The moon shone between the branches, giving the night an eerie glow. Alex helped the alien girl stand. She was stronger now, but still weak. Her glowing eyes looked up at him with silent trust. Suddenly, a sharp noise cut through the air, a drone passing low overhead. Alex pulled her quickly behind a large tree, holding his breath. The drone paused in the air, scanning the ground with a red beam. Then it moved on, disappearing into the distance. Alex exhaled slowly, feeling his heart racing. This was not going to be easy. They moved deeper into the forest, keeping to the shadows. The alien girl's soft glow made it difficult to hide completely. But she seemed to understand. She touched her own skin gently, and somehow the glow faded slightly. Alex was amazed again. She could control even the light of her own body, but the chase had truly begun. Alex could hear more drones now, and barking. Dogs in the distance. The soldiers were spreading out. Using heat scanners and searchlights, their voices echoed through the trees. ... She's close. Track the human. They knew he was helping her. As they ran, the alien girl suddenly stopped. She placed her hand on a nearby tree, and something strange happened. The branches around them moved gently, weaving together, forming a thick wall of leaves and vines. It was like magic. The forest itself seemed to obey her. She looked at Alex with a calm expression. Her powers were returning slowly, but surely. Alex nodded in silent agreement. They would use every advantage they had to escape. The soldiers would not expect her to control nature itself, but danger was everywhere in the distance. Bright searchlights swept through the trees. Alex knew they had only minutes before being found again. They kept moving, running when they could, hiding when they had to. Sometimes Alex would glance back at her. Even though she was tired, she never complained. Her eyes stayed bright, full of determination. Her silent strength gave Alex hope. At one point, they reached a stream. Alex stopped, thinking fast. The water would help hide their tracks. He helped her step carefully into the cold stream. The water splashed around their feet as they followed its winding path. Behind them, voices grew louder, closer now. But the stream washed away their footprints, confusing the trackers. Alex and the alien girl moved carefully, staying quiet. The night felt endless, but they kept going at times. She would place her glowing hand on a tree, and the plants would shift, closing behind them, hiding their path. Even in her weakened state, she was helping him survive. Their bond had become more than just trust, was now teamwork. Hours passed before they reached a dense thicket at the edge of the forest. Beyond it lay open fields, lit by the rising moon. Alex knew they could not cross the fields without being seen. They would have to wait. He sat down beneath a large tree, pulling the alien girl close to keep her warm. Her glowing eyes looked into his. And for the first time, he saw something new in them. Not just fear or pain, but courage. The chase was not over. The danger was still near, but together, they had survived the first night. And Alex now believed that with her powers returning, they might stand a real chance. The alien princess leaned her head on his shoulder, her soft glow lighting the shadows. They would keep running, keep hiding, but they would not give up. Their journey had just begun. The healing power of the night was colder now. A soft mist rolled over the fields beyond the forest, hiding the stars and moon. Alex and the alien girl crouched under a thick tree, watching the searchlights sweep across the distant grass. Every noise seemed louder in the dark, the hum of drones, the snap of a branch, even Alex's own breath. He could feel her shiver. Beside him, even though she was recovering, she was still weak. Her skin glowed faintly, less bright than before. He knew she was using all her energy to help them stay hidden. Suddenly, a sharp sound cracked behind them, a branch breaking under. A soldier's boot. Before Alex could react, a blinding beam of light fell on them. "Stop right there," a voice shouted. Alex's heart pounded. He grabbed her hand and ran. Oh, but it was too late. A warning shot struck a tree nearby, sending splinters flying. They ducked behind a fallen log. But Alex felt a sharp pain in his leg. He looked down and saw a deep cut, bleeding fast. The alien girl gasped softly, her eyes wide with fear and sadness. Alex gritted his teeth, trying to stand. But the pain was too much. His leg refused to move. He looked at her and whispered, "Go. Save yourself." But she did not run. Instead, she crawled beside him, her glowing hands trembling as she touched his wound. And then, something amazing happened. Her glow grew brighter than it ever had before. The symbols on her skin lit up like stars, pulsing with energy. Her fingers pressed gently against the bleeding wound. Alex felt a warm wave spread through his leg. The pain faded. The bleeding stopped right before his eyes. In moments, the wound was gone, as if it had never been there. Alex stared at her in shock. Her healing power was real. But it was not just her ability. Was their connection. Her healing worked because of the bond they had built. Trust, kindness, and care had unlocked her true strength, even though she was exhausted. She managed a small smile. She touched his face gently, and he could feel the warmth of her gratitude. For a moment, all fear disappeared between them. But the danger had not ended. More footsteps approached. Searchlights moved closer. The soldiers were determined. Alex knew they could not stay here any longer. But something had changed. The alien girl was stronger now. She stood tall, her glowing skin shining like a beacon in the night. She raised her hand toward the trees. The branches moved, twisting and curling around the soldiers. Forming a thick wall of vines, leaves, and roots blocked the path, hiding Alex and the alien girl once again. Her powers had returned fully. She was no longer just a lost and injured Princess. Sash was a survivor, and with Alex beside her, she was ready to fight for her freedom. Alex stood beside her, his leg healed, his fear replaced by determination. They moved together through the mist, away from the soldiers and into the shadows. Her healing power had saved him. But more than that, it had proven that they were stronger together. The night was still full of danger. The chase would continue, but Alex no longer felt alone. By his side was someone who trusted him completely, an alien girl whose touch could heal not only wounds, but hearts too. Their journey was far from over, but now they were ready. Together, they would face whatever came next. Escape to the stars. The mist covered the ground as Alex and the alien girl moved quietly through the shadows. Behind them, the soldiers shouted, Orders frustrated that their search was failing. The forest had become a maze of twisting branches and hidden paths, all shaped by the alien girl's strange power. Her glow was soft but steady now, her strength returning fully. Alex felt hope. For the first time since this began, at the edge of the trees, they found what Alex had almost forgotten: a small abandoned launch pad years ago. It had been built for research ships, but now it was broken and silent, or so Alex had thought. But the alien girl stopped, turning to him with a look of quiet confidence. She raised her hand and touched a round metal panel. Suddenly, the ground rumbled gently as a hidden hatch slid open. Beneath it lay a small spacecraft, sleek and silver, glowing faintly. Her ship had repaired itself, waiting for her to return. Alex watched in amazement as she stepped forward. With a gesture, she opened the hatch, inviting him inside. For a brief moment, Alex hesitated. This was a choice he could not undo: his old life. His lonely days on Earth of it would be behind him if he stepped onto that ship. But when he looked at her face, so full of trust, courage, and gratitude, he knew what he wanted. He nodded slowly. Together, they climbed into the ship. Inside, it was bright and clean, with controls that pulsed softly under her touch. The ship hummed to life, filling the air with a low musical sound. She sat in the pilot's seat, her fingers moving quickly over strange symbols. Alex sat beside her, strapping himself in through the window. He could see the searchlights sweeping the fields below. Soldiers ran toward the pad, shouting, weapons ready, but they were too late. The ship lifted gently off the ground. The forest fell away beneath them. Alex felt his heart race as the stars came into view, bright and endless above. The alien girl looked at him, her glowing eyes soft but strong. For the first time, she spoke not in words he understood, but in a soft, musical language. Yet somehow, in his heart, he knew what she was saying. Thank you. As the ship rose higher, the sky opened around them. The mist, the soldiers, the searchlights all disappeared below. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of Earth fall away. He had saved her, but she had saved him too. Her healing power was not just for wounds, it was for hearts. His lonely life was gone now, replaced by something new and beautiful. Side by side, they left Earth behind. Their journey was far from over, but Alex knew they would face it together. Out there, among the stars, a new life was waiting for them. The stars shimmered around their small silver ship, and as they disappeared into the vast sky, Alex smiled for the first time in years. His story had changed forever.